Okay, so we're now going to do part 2 of the vinyl update, and I'm going to show you the vinyl 12-inch albums and some 12-inch singles as well in between. We'll start with the 12-inch singles. Can't remember when I bought this, but it was fairly recent. Temporary Secretary, Paul McCartney. It doesn't have its picture sleeve, but I think these can be quite worth more with the picture sleeve. Back with Secret Found, which is a 10-minute and 30-second track. But anyway, this Temporary Secretary was released on the McCartney 2 album in 1980. Nice to have that one. Here's a picture disc of Bruce Springsteen's Streets of Philadelphia from 1994 with Streets of Philadelphia and If I Should Fall Behind live on one side and Growing Up and The Big Muddy live, both live on the other. So yeah, nice to have that. Here's a little 10-inch I found, American Shop Sockets. It's Elvis Jailhouse Rock with Treat Me Nice and Treat Me Nice movie version on the other side. Now this is from a series that they did for Elvis's 70th birthday in 2005, and they re-released all his UK number ones in this sort of format. So that's quite nice that they did that. So yeah, really cool that one. Okay, we'll go over the albums. I got these first few in a Drawson charity shop, for 4 rather. Fats Domino, the singles album. This is his greatest hits. Fats Domino, yeah, I quite like. He's got a few good songs here, like Blueberry Hill, Ain't That a Shame, which is on here, yes, Ain't That a Shame. So yeah, I've kind of like just bought this, just to give it a go, really. This is probably the only record of his I would really want to get, so got it. It's on the Fame label. Here's Johnny Cash, 20-foot tapping greats. This is a compilation album on the CBS label from '78. Tracks in the back. So yeah, there's some interesting ones on here. There's the label. It doesn't have a sleeve yet. I need to try and find a sleeve for it. But these three are probably the interesting purchases from that shop I made on that day. These are 3 original Elvis soundtracks in mono. I have later pressings of these, but these are the originals in mono, which is very cool. So here's Roused About, original mono pressing from 1964. Never thought I'd see these or find these, and I already had the pressings stated, the later pressings stated, because these were cheap and these were original monos. I couldn't say no to that. Here's Harem Holiday, or of course Harem Scam as it's known in other countries. Mono pressing on the same label. And Paradise Hawaiian Style. So yeah, really pleased to find these ones. Okay, now we've got some online and record shop purchases from Sockets. Elvis Kissin' Cousins, original mono pressing as well. So my now goal is to try and get all the original soundtrack albums in mono from like the 50s and 60s. If I can find them, that is. I know some might not be easy to get hold of. But my goal is to now try and get all the original mono or stereo Elvis pressings. Now, I was originally going to settle with like the reissues and later releases, but because I found the originals for quite a reasonable price, yeah, just how can you say no? Now here's a compilation called Elvis in Hollywood. Nice cover. Always like Hollywood movie songs. So yeah, this movie song that's on a Everest label. Here's Travis with Good Feeling, their first album from 1987. This has a different cover to the original version, which I have on CD, which I probably should show them pull up there. This is like the 2022 National Album Day reissue with a different cover. Which, you know, I have to have, but I would like to have the original cover, which I'll probably get at some point. But anyway, here's the original inner sleeve. I know the hits All I Want to Do Is Rock, Tied to the 90s, U16 Girls, and Happy, which are on the Singles Greatest Hits album. Another Travis one I bought online, and that is The Boy With No Name, 2007 album. And this, of course, as I said, I showed the CD earlier, but I got the vinyl before I got the CD. Here's the inner sleeve, and just generic label. So yeah, nice to find that one. Still working on my Travis vinyl collection. Here's Romantic Elvis, which I found in the record shop. Romantic Elvis. I had Rockin' Elvis, which I bought a wee while ago, but I managed to find the other one. So yeah, nice to find that one. Just like all his slow ballad type of songs, which is quite nice. You get loads of compilations like that. You'll get like Rockin' Elvis, rock and roll songs, the slow ballad love songs, gospel songs. I like the fact that a lot of the Elvis compilations they put out have a concept to them. So that's always quite cool when they do that, because you'll often wonder what sort of tracks they'll throw onto it. Because they usually tend to throw on a lot of like really rare album tracks you don't see too often. Like, will you see something like There's Always Me or Anything That's Part of You on like a generic compilation album? No. Or will you see something like Slowly But Surely, which is like a Rocky type song, or trying to think what else. Make Me Know It. No, you might not see those sort of songs unless you get those sort of concept compilations. A lot of these are all from the Record Shop and Sockets. Got three the Amy Winehouse albums. Here's her debut, Frank, from 2003. Now, I'd liked Amy Winehouse for a long, long time. I'd had her stuff on CD though, but I never thought about getting her on vinyls, but I recently did. This is her debut from 2003. I don't know too much about this album, but I do know quite a few of her songs. She was just this really talented artist and just went really, really, really young when she died, which is quite sad. But this was a debut from 2003, but I think this is a reissue. And my copy even comes with a HMV receipts. Oh, download card, which I've already used. But here's the HMV receipts. Purchased at HMV in Ayr on the 9th of March 2019. That little piece of somebody's just left in their receipt. Quite interesting, that. At the price of $20.99. So that would have been £21 almost. So yeah, nice to find that. And we'll definitely get this album on CD at some point, but I've used the download card to put it onto, so here you go. Oh, the plastic feels a bit slippy. So yeah, pleased to find that one, Amy Winehouse and Frank. And of course, I've got all three of her albums on vinyl now. I've got Back to Black, of course everyone knows this one. Great ones in here like Rehab, You Know I'm No Good, the title track, Love's a Losing Game, Tears Dry on Their Own. So yeah, really, really good album. Probably one of the most classic albums of all time that there is. So yeah, really nice to find that. He's in a sleep with the lyrics. Some nice pictures. And there's the record label. So it's black inside one, and it's white on the other, which is quite interesting. See, that one was 2000, says 2007 on the back, but I've always known it came out in 2006. So I think it might come out in vinyl in 2007. So I'm not sure if this might be an original. This actually might be an original copy, which is quite cool. And of course I've got the posthumous one, Lioness Hidden Treasures, from 2011. These were like songs I think she was either doing for her intended third album, or they were like leftovers from the previous two albums. I think that's what this album's kind of is. But some still good songs in here. Liked her version of Our Day Will Come, the Between the Cheats, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, the duet with Tony Bennett, Body and Soul, which is quite nice. Gatefold with the lyrics, and this comes with a insert. Explains about all the tracks, and both labels are the same, but it just look like that. The thing with this record is it plays at a 45 RPM speed. Not sure what that's all about, but hey, So yeah, really good album. Now I've got all three of Amy Winehouse's albums on vinyl. I'd like to get the BBC one as well, the Live of the BBC album at some point in vinyl. Did have that years ago, but the discs get scratched. The deluxe set. I hope to replace that sometime. And here's Whitesnake, the Purple Tour. Got this on CD, but nice to have the vinyl. David Coverdale's just announced his retirement. I was hoping to do a video on that, but I didn't get around to doing it. But anyways, Quite nice to find this one on vinyl. Would like to get the reissue of the Forevermore album on vinyl, which they just re-released. But yeah, the record looks like this, customized label. This is on one side, and that's the other. So yeah, nice to find that album on vinyl. Because I have a lot of the Whitesnake and CD, the later albums in CD. Because I'm not always sure if they might be. I know there were a few that put into vinyl originally, but they were like really expensive to get a hold of. So they might reissue them. I'm not sure. The other LP is the same. I showed the second record. First record's the same. And some of these were like some of the ones I put to the side in the shop because I couldn't really get them buy them at the time because I didn't have enough money on them. And then I would buy them when I got the money. I've got 2 Elvis picture discs. I already have this one, but mine's missing the kind of cover. I managed to find it with the cover. It's the Jailhouse Rock and Love in Las Vegas picture disc. Really pleased to get this one. So yeah, nice find. And I have the standard album of this, but nice to find the picture disc. I Can Help with Other Great Hits. Some like album track songs from like the 70s. Oh, I tell you, there's a 60s one on here. Only the Strong Survive, so that's quite cool. Got Herman's Hermits, the collection. This is like their greatest hits of Herman's Hermits. Have a few of their songs on 45, but nice to find the greatest hits package because I do like quite a few of their songs. This is on a label called Castle Communications, released in 1990, and it even came with a bonus Herman's Hermits record, 20 greatest hits on the K-Tel label. Quite interesting. Art Garfunkel, Breakaway, and I already have a copy of this album, but my copy does not have its picture sleeve or the insert. So, nice to find this with the insert and its picture sleeve. And there's the inner sleeve. I'm definitely looking to upgrade my albums if I find them with the picture and inner sleeves, the correct inner sleeves. I'll definitely buy them, or with the insert I'll buy them and kind of, get rid of my old ones. So I'm slowly beginning to upgrade my collection a bit as I go along. Either try and locate the original pressings of certain albums, or if I find them with the inserts and inners, or if they're in better condition, that's kind of how I upgrade my albums on vinyl. Or if I find the deluxe editions in CD, then I do that as well. The Rolling Stones, Goat Head Soup, one that was missing in the collection, and I was kind of hoping to find. I don't think it has the insert with it, unfortunately, but still nice to have this album. The only one to know in here is Angie, which is like the big hit on the album. And there's also Silver Train. There's a song called Star Star, which is 1973. Getting Stones, I'm hoping to complete their collection at some point. But I've done quite well with Stones in the collection. Here's another Elvis one. The European Side of Elvis. Nice cover. I'm not sure what this is all about, but I think this is like songs that were originally like foreign songs, but then they were translated, and then Elvis sang the kind of English versions. So yeah, quite interesting selection of songs, I would say. And it's a not sure what pressing this, what country it's from. I think it might be a Europe record. I don't know. It's a Italian. Well, it's an Italian release. Quite cool. It's nice to have an import of Elvis. And it comes with these sort of writings. I'm not sure what this is all about, but it just came with it when I got it. I got this online. Bruce Springsteen Lost and Found, selections from the Lost albums. I showed the CD in part 1. Now this is the vinyl edition. We'll definitely keep the vinyl version because I, don't have the tracks 2 box set on vinyl. Only have it in the CD. So yeah, nice to get the vinyl. Here's the inner sleeve. They all have different customized labels, so I will show them. They all come with the lyrics and the back, who plays what in the tracks, and who did what in the tracks, whether it's the engineer or a mixer or producer. Side 2, just that's record 1. And record 2 Yeah, got the vinyl of this, so I'll keep the vinyl of this. But CD, I've got Tracks box set, 2 Lost Albums box set, and CD. I didn't bother with the vinyl because I thought the vinyl was a wee bit pricey, but I managed to find the CD version for a not bad price. So yeah, these came from the record shop in Newcastle when I went to visit there. Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis and Carl Perkins, The Survivors. This is from a live concert in Stuttgart in West Germany in 1981 or 82. So yeah, quite nice to find this live album. I had a reissue of it on the Hallmark. I think it was the Hallmark label. Just give my reply to this message. A Hallmark label, but nice to find the original pressing on the CBS label, which is really nice to find. So yeah, pleased to get that. Then we have Elvis Guitar Man. Now this is a 1981 album that Elvis's longtime producer Felton Jarvis had got together a bunch of old Elvis tracks, and he kind of had the rhythm arrangements tracks re-recorded as if Elvis had kind of done an album like that at that time. So some rather interesting selection of tracks from like 67, 68 up to 77, 76, 77. Quite an interesting picture. I'm not sure. I think that's from one of the films that he did. I think it's on the RCA label. This I got from the Chart Shop and Concert. The Best of Del Shannon. Again, another greatest hits. This one doesn't have that many songs on it. Only 11 songs, but still nice to find this album from the Contour label. And these all came online. So I've got Travis the Man Who. This is their 1999 album, probably their biggest album. I'd say you got Right to Reach You, Driftwood, Turn, and Why Does It Always Rain on Me, which were all the hits. But also like some of the other songs in here as well, like As You Are, songs like that. So yeah, not a bad album, really good album. Originally released in 1999, but this is the 2019 reissue. The lyrics in the inner sleeve on the Kraft label. Yeah. Again, just the standard generic blank white label. And we're just on standard black vinyl. And then we get Travis the Invisible Band from 2001. I really like the hits on here. Sing, Side, Flowers in the Window, but there's some other great ones on here, like Dear Diary, Follow the Light, The Cage. So yeah, really good album. This is from 2001, is the inner sleeve. And just standard label there. Oh, really dropped the cover there. Yeah, really good to see the cover, like the big cover art. Because when I've had it on CD, it's always looked quite small. But to have the vinyl version and to look at the big artwork, you can actually see the band are like within the tree, the wooded area, which is quite a really nice cover. And then Travis with 12 Memories, originally released in 2003, but this is a reissue. Really great album. I liked Quicksand, The Beautiful Occupation, Reoffender, Piece That Out, Somewhere Else, Love Will Come Through, Happy to Hang Around, Midlife Crisis. So yeah, really good album. Really enjoyed this record. There's the sleeve, and there's the label there. So yeah, I now have a few Travis albums to get. I don't know if there's a reissue to the Ode to J. Smith album in 2008 yet. Still to find 10 songs and I think Everything at Once, the 2016 album. But apart from that, I almost have them all. And these are all record shop purchases, but I've got a few from that my dad gave me. Elvis Hits the 70s compilation. One that I've seen about in different people showing their Elvis channels, but managed to find a copy here. These are like all the 70s hits up to that point, so from The Wonder of You up to things up to about 72 or 73 thereabouts. So yeah, nice little cover there. Inner sleeve just plain white, and then on the RCA Victor label, standard RCA label. For some strange reason, coffee. I've actually just noticed. I don't think I noticed it when I bought it, but it has the booklet from Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2. So, if anyone's got a copy of Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2, then, then I'll give the booklet over to you. But, yeah, really nice to find that one, hits of the 70s. Then we get the Almost in Love album from 1970. This is one of like the RCA Camden albums. With some film soundtrack songs. This is the UK cover version. I think that was what the cover we got in America. But this is original pressing on the RCA Camden International Camden label. There's a song from the back there. A couple of Bob Dylan's I'd like to show. Here's Self Portrait from 1970. This is an original pressing. Had this one in CD for ages, but nice to find it on vinyl. It's not an easy Bob Dylan album to find. It was one that really gets slated by the press and critics at the time. But I think I've heard some people say that they actually liked the album. But yeah, double vinyl, and we're on the original orange CBS label. Second LP is identical, so I won't bother showing that one. Here is the Basement Tapes, the Bob Dylan the Band Historic Basement Tapes. This one is an original pressing, I think. Yeah, you get the full picture of the gatefold on the other side. It's a Holland cover. The cover says made in Holland, but the records are UK. I have a few records that I kind of like that, where the cover's made in a certain country, but the records are still UK, or vice versa. See, I'm not sure what that one's all about, but the second LP is identical. Yeah, nice to find this one as part of the Bob Dylan collection. And I originally bought this in Newcastle on Charge Shop for a couple of £. Nils Lofgren, Cry Tough. Of course, Nils got Lofgren, the guitarist for Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, played with Lou Gramm, as well as also played with Neil Young. Got this one at first, but this was a bit of a beat up copy. It was only £2. It didn't look too bad when I bought it, but it didn't play too well on the turntable on A&M. My dad actually gave me his copy, which is a bit better condition, of Cry Tough by Nils Lofgren. Yeah, quite a good album. Originally released in 1976. And he's also given me his other two Nils Lofgren albums, and I bought a few Nils Lofgren from my local shop. Here's Flip, 1985. You actually turn it upside down. The back. And there's the inner sleeve, picture of Nils, and it's on Tower Bell Records. Here's a live one, Code of the Road. It's a double LP live album from 1985 at the Hammersmith Odeon. Gatefold sleeve, and it's on, what was it? Tower Bell Records again. I think the other LP is identical, so I won't show that. So yeah, nice to find that one. Night Fades Away, 1981 album. This is quite interesting because he does I Go to Pieces and Some, which was a Del Shannon song originally, and even Del Shannon sings on backing vocals with Nils in this track, on that track, which is quite nice. This is a German pressing from 81, but it is still on the MCA label. And he also does a version of the Beatles song Anytime at All, which will be really interesting to hear that. I'll get round to it. Another Nils Lofgren one, but this is self-titled. Maybe his first album, I'm not sure. This is from 1975. But yeah, one side of the collection on A&M. I've got one more Nils Lofgren one to show, and it's I Came to Dance, 1977 album. Again on the same label. Definitely to give these a listen. An online purchase now. Bob Dylan, World Gone Wrong. This is the music on vinyl edition from 1990. Originally released in 1993, but this is the music on vinyl edition from 2016. Don't know too much about this one. I think this is like a kind of standard traditional covers album, which Bob was going through at the phase at the time, before he kind of returned to his commercial peak with like the Time Out of Mind album. Songs in the back, they're a bit hard to see, but anyway, nice reproduction of the original Columbia label, which is nice to. So yeah, another one to the collection, as I say. Quite a nice cover actually. Another online purchase now. Elton John, Peachtree Road. Showed the CD. Now this is the vinyl reissue from 2022. This originally came out in 2004, as stated earlier. Again, probably one of my favourite latter day Elton albums. Lyrics in the Gatefold. I really like Weight of the World, Answer in the Sky, Turn the Lights Out When You Leave, Stop and I Breathe, All That I'm Allowed I'm Thankful, My Elusive Drug. So yeah, really, really good album. Inner sleeve here, and I'm pretty sure there's the record there, customized label. I haven't checked. Oh no, these are a bit different. Nearly there. Bought this from the shop in Saltcoats. These two from the shop in Saltcoats. Bob Dylan Street Legal. Have a Holland pressing of this, but this is now UK pressing, much the same on the CBS label, which is quite nice here. Really, really good album actually. I really quite enjoyed this one. I liked Baby Stop Crying, Changing of the Guards, Is Your Love in Vain. So yeah, really, really good album. I showed the singles from this album, so here's the album itself. Jermaine Jackson, Let's Get Serious, 1980 album. Don't know too much about this one. Definitely to try and get hold of some of the Jermaine solo albums at some point, but here's one I've got. It's nice to find this one on the Motown label. There's that one. Oh, my phone's going off. Again, I probably should have my phone on silent for this video, but hey ho, what can you do? But anyway, nice to find this album. Of course, Jermaine, brother of Michael Jackson, and part of the Jackson 5, so yeah, good to find that one. Another one from the shop in Saltcoats I got is this one, 9 Lives. This is the American edition of the album, the original American edition, which has the gatefold. My UK version doesn't have the gatefold, it just is a standard generic album. But yeah, nice to find the original version of this album. I'll definitely keep both my pressings just for the collection. There's the inner sleeve, which is an insert in my UK version. It's on this Epic label. And my copy, for some strange reason, comes with the insert on the High Infidelity album, which my copy of the album has. Both my copies of the album have this lyric in it. So yeah, nice to find. Though still, pretty good album actually. 9 Lives, I quite like this one. Things like Heavy on Your Love, Only the Strong Survive, Drop It in Old Disguise, Rock and Roll Music, Meet Me on the Mountain, I Need You Tonight, and Back on the Road Again as well. So yeah, really good album. These next two are eBay purchases. The eBay purchases. Upgrade copy of Elvis the Alternate Aloha. I bought this a year ago, almost like 2 years ago now. My copy was beat to hell. It skipped and it was scratched. But I managed to find a really nice, better copy on eBay. Here's the original inner sleeve on the RC label. Showed the CD earlier, so nice to get a nice copy of the vinyl at last. Now you'll remember I had bought 2 of the volumes in this album series, and I was missing the other one. Volumes 1 and 3 I bought, but I was missing 2. Was missing 1 and 3, so I was missing volume 2, but I finally got it. Rare Elvis Volume 2. These have alternate versions of songs, live versions, alternate takes, stuff that appeared in things like the This Is Elvis soundtrack album and the Elvis Aaron Presley box set. This album, really good selection of versions, I must say. These Rare Elvis series. They only went on for 3 volumes. I don't know why they couldn't have. Done another few volumes of this, because this is really quite a good series, I must say. Still nice to find that. And I got some records from the record shop in Glasgow missing, which I went after my first day in the course. Here's the Everly Brothers, Born Yesterday. I have the UK version with a different cover. This is the American edition with this cover. It's quite nice. Missing You Send Me, which is on the other international editions of the album. But here's the inner sleeve, 1986, and on the Mercury label. So yeah, pretty good album, I must say, this album. And then I picked up a few of the original mono, well 2 actually, original mono soundtracks of Elvis. Here's Fun in Acapulco. This is original mono pressing from 1963. I had an American reissue from the 70s in stereo, but this is the original mono pressing, which I'm really pleased to finally have. And actually, the record's not in too bad condition, actually. These were all quite for a good price, so there was no way I could turn them down. So yeah, really nice to find an original mono of Fun in Acapulco. Then we have Double Trouble. I picked up a 1980 Green Label version, which I'll be getting rid of quite soon, but now I have the original mono of this, which is quite nice to find. Doesn't have an inner sleeve yet, but I'll definitely try and find it. I know the bonus songs from the album, as they was from the 63, some of these were from like the 63 sessions they did in Nashville. And perfect time to show these 2. Elvis Sings The Wonderful World of Christmas, his 1971 album. This has a different cover to the original. It'd be nice to find the one with the original cover. I'm still quite happy with this one, to be honest. Still the same album, really, on the Blue RC Elvis label. I now pretty much nearly have all of Elvis's studio albums, including the soundtracks. The only one I'm now missing is the gospel album He Touched Me, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye out on that one. But here's Elvis Christmas with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I have the other 2 albums of this, and I have the 3rd. So yeah, pleased to find that one now. I have all 3 volumes. Inner sleeve here. Came out in 2017. It's on this label. So this album, yeah, definitely a place to get that one. Came out in 2017. And it's original cellophane as string wrap as well, which is quite nice. One with the sides opened. I'm just going to leave it as plastic. I'm not going to take it off. Nearly at the end, got this one on eBay. Del Shannon, The Vintage Years, 1975 American compilation. But this is quite cool because this has a lot of rare tracks, as you can see in the back here. I'll let you pause it and have a look at the track listen. There's some nice pictures in the back. Gatefold is very cool as well. See, a really cool packaging wise, this album. And it's on a label called Sire. Yes, Sire. You get things like his version of the Rolling Stones, Under My Thumb, which is not in really a lot of compilations. Songs like Sister Isabel from 1970, Show Me from 66, the B-side of Move It On Over, She Still Remembers Tony. So there are some quite interesting track choices on here, I must say. So yeah, really pleased to get that. I found these in one of my charity shops in Salt Coast. Did I? Oh, no, hang on. I've got these in the wrong order. Let me try and sort this out. Found these in the charity shops, one of the charity shops in Salkers, but at different visits. Here's Elvis, How Great Thou Art. Have this in stereo. This is a mono pressing, but it was cheap, so again, thought I'd pick it up. It's not in the best of shape, this one, unfortunately, but still nice to have a mono copy of the album. Now these 3, I'm not big fans of these artists, but I have their greatest hits and that will do me. But again, These were quite cheap, so yeah, couldn't say no. Here's Take It Easy with the Walker Brothers, 1965. Of course, Scott Walker was part of the Walker Brothers. These are all original monos, which is quite cool on the Philips label. Another Walker Brothers one here, and this is Portrait. And this one doesn't have the insert, unfortunately. I've seen people show this record with the insert picture. And Images. And the last year from the Record Shop and Saw Cuts. We're nearly at the end of the video. Here's Terrific, Scott Walker. Now this is a kind of budget reissue of the album Scott 2 from 1968, which I've been meaning to get my hands on for some time, but now I kind of got the album in some form. I know the song from the Greatest Hits. I know the song Jackie from the Greatest Hits, and I know Plastic Palace People again from my Greatest Hits CD. The Amoris Humphrey Plug. So yeah, there are some good songs in this album. I need to get here on the Philips label. I now need to find the album Scott 4 at some point, but that's quite difficult to get hold of. But I hope to find it for a decent price at some point. Scott, either the repressing or the original of Scott 4, but nearly the Scott albums, and then the Greatest Hits will just do me, as well as those 4 albums from the 60s. These are some Elvis ones I found in the Tell Light. Another one from the Scottish charity shop, Deborah, which I found was this Everly Brothers Songs Our Daddy Taught Us, the original pressing from '59 on the London label. This isn't in the greatest of shape, but again, it was quite cheap, so you know, couldn't really turn it down. It's a little record's a little beat as well as the cover, but I actually have an Ace reissue, as you can see behind me, of Songs of Daddy. I'll probably keep this one, both pressings of this. And these are all record shop purchases. Here's a Mexican album called Rock My Soul. Don't know so much about this one. This has a few live and unreleased recordings. Don't know too much about this album. Oh, it's a bit of gluing, as you can probably see. That's on this label. So I'm not sure whether this is a bootleg or whether it's import. I know it's a Mexican album, but I'm not sure whether it's a unofficial release or not. That's something I've yet to find out, but still nice to find this. It's got art there, which is like the RCA logo, but the letters have been kind of jumbled up. I've got 2 picture discs. Here's pictures of Elvis. Nice picture from the Aloha, which looks like from the Aloha show. I think it's the rehearsal show. I think quite a short album, actually, only 12 tracks in this picture disc. Quite nice. And here's pictures of Elvis 2. This might be a 75 picture, I think. But yeah, I'd never seen these before, so I thought, yeah, I might as well pick them up. And there's the other one. So, that's Vinyl Update 49 done. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, definitely hope to make some more videos sometime. I'll definitely get that other vinyl update done before the end of the year. So, yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.